Allianz Partners has confirmed they will be cutting 1,800 jobs due to AI. They are replacing these jobs with AI. Guys, that's almost 10% of their workforce. And AI replacing jobs isn't really a new story. But what is important to this story is not necessarily just which jobs are being let go, but the recommitment to the layoff. You see, back in November 2025, this German insurance group announced plans to cut jobs in the travel insurance division, specifically in the call centers. They said that AI is increasingly replacing the manual processes. Gosh, where have we heard that before, guys? Like time and time again, guys. We're covering these stories 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. This is not a new story. But again, what is a new story, I think what is important here is this recommitment. 6 months ago, 8 months ago, they say they're going to do these layoffs. Well, they doubled down and they said they are definitely going to be cutting these 1,800 jobs due to AI. And what's also fascinating, guys, is just weeks before confirming the job losses, Allianz was named #1 in the 2026 Evident AI Index for Insurance, ahead of 29 competitors, with a talent pool 28% larger than its nearest rival and more than 900 registered AI use cases across the business. Guys, this is not a small insurance company, okay, first of all, A. And B, this is not a company that's just kind of testing the waters with AI. They told us 8 to 10 months ago that they were going to do this, and they had 8 to 10 months to kind of say, you know what, maybe we won't, maybe the AI is not working. No, what they found is that the AI is replacing these insurance jobs and doing just as good, if not better a job than their human beings. That's why they're laying off 10% of their company. And by the way, just a quick side note, I was watching the All In podcast the other day, and David Sachs, David Freeberg, Chamath, they were all arguing that AI is not replacing jobs and there's no evidence it's replacing jobs. And I'm just like, love you guys. I think you guys do a lot of good. I agree that AI is going to be a net positive in a lot of ways, but to sit there and say that AI is not replacing jobs and there's no evidence, I don't know how you can actually say that at this time. I mean, we covered this a couple days ago. I'll post a link to the video here. The #1 reason for layoffs last month was AI. In fact, 25% of all layoffs this year have been attributed to AI. To sit there and say there's no evidence of AI-driven layoffs is, to me, just a bit negligent, if you ask me, but that's just me. Anyway, one of the board members, Barbara Caruzel, said that AI will be transformational in the user experience. Quote, thousands of moments that matter, a claim processed faster, a customer experience reimagined, a colleague freed up for what truly matters, end quote. And on its face, this doesn't seem like a huge story, but I think that's kind of missing the point. One of the top insurance companies implementing AI are happy with the results and doubling down and gonna be going even further. And this is one of the big points that I've tried to make, guys, is that it's the AI drip of job replacement is gonna start slow at first. But what's gonna happen is once one company figures it out, another company is going to figure it out. And before you know it, all the insurance companies are using AI to replace their workers. Same thing with cars. Once Waymo gets access to enough cities, then all of a sudden you're not going to see anyone driving, driving people around. There's not going to be any taxi cabs. Once these problems start to get figured out, all the old jobs are going to be replaced. Now, what I do think is that by adding all this AI in, it's going to create a lot of new problems that we can't really predict yet, at which point, assuming you've been adapting and you're ready and you've been adjusting and you have good relationships, you'll be able to kind of move into a place where you're solving new problems. But the fact here is that AI is going to be solving a lot of the problems that we see today. And it's going to start slow, like we're seeing here, 10% of one insurance company, then another. And before you know it, 10 turns to 20, 30, 40, all of a sudden, your insurance company is all manned by robots. And I'm actually going to give you some insights into that in just a moment, because the reality is that insurance is especially vulnerable to AI. It processes enormous amounts of data, not just first party, but third party data. They have repetitive document processing. They have tons and tons of standardized workflows. There's millions of customer interactions. And by the way, I used to work in insurance. I did 10 years managing a State Farm office. So I kind of have a feel for how insurance works. Did a lot of underwriting. I've written thousands of policies, okay? Customers, you have millions of customer interactions across customer service, across claims, underwriting, and I think underwriting in particular is dead. It's gonna be all robots. Where there used to be 100 people doing underwriting, there'll be like 5 now for special use cases. Again, I come from a large insurance background, and I actually know that the largest insurance companies in the United States are having AI handle nearly all of their underwriting right now. Again, where there used to be 10, there will be 1. Where there were 100, there will be 5. And guys, by the way, insurance, not a small industry. Not a small industry. There are over 3 million people in the insurance industry. There are about 460,000 insurance sales agents. And I think my kind of prediction here is that the sales agents are not going to go away right away. I think, because the ability to like look people in the eye, talk to people, shake hands, even just kind of interact. I don't think you're going to have robots selling humans insurance policies right away. That being said, how many people are actually talking to an agent nowadays? A lot of times you're just going to go online and buy the policy directly. Regardless, I think that, again, the key here is does human on human interaction matter? That's going to be a place that's pretty safe from AI. Although if you're like a micromanager and you're managing an office, they might not need you, because where there used to be you used to be managing, and answering questions about claims and managing your staff, you might not have as big of a staff anymore. Or maybe it's all remote staff and they don't need you because they have got one guy who's like a super stud in another office that manages the staff. Anyway, let's look at some more of these numbers here. Claim adjusters and investigators, there's 240,000. Honestly, all cooked. All completely cooked. Claims adjusting and underwriting, completely cooked. There's 97,000 underwriters. There's 170,000 policy processing clerks. Guys, I'm not going to name the name, but a major big-time insurance company, one of the largest insurance companies in the world, is moving towards same-day issuance of policies, meaning you submit your information, AI underwrites the entire thing and gives you your policy the same day, almost instantly. Doesn't need to touch a human hand, guys, because all the data's there and the AI is going to process it. I don't think people fully appreciate what's happening here. And by the way, I kind of saw the writing on the wall in the insurance industry about a decade ago. I was deep in insurance. I was managing in this agency day in, day out. I saw it happening. I said, this is so clear to me that the technology, the way that these companies operate, they are not going to need the person on the ground managing an office. It's not for me. And so I shifted. I got into media production, into marketing, and I'm very happy that I did that. God kind of led my path, and not always clear where I was going. Regardless, guys, insurance is cooked. It is completely cooked. And I think that this story from Allianz Partners, 10 months ago saying they're going to do layoffs, and then now saying, yep, we were right, we're going to go ahead with it, is perfect evidence of that. And guys, maybe I'll do a more robust, comprehensive video on how insurance is being replaced by AI, talk about some of the tools, some of the systems, maybe look at some more companies. If that's interesting to you, put it in the comments below, because quite frankly, I think insurance has been historically a very, very big industry, especially for humans. And well, we're taking the human out of insurance. I can tell you that. And not just insurance, but basically anything that's processing large numbers, analyzing risk, that sort of thing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video today. Guys, if you did, smash like, smash subscribe, you know what to do. Leave a comment below if you've got a great comment. I will pin it. I've pinned your great comments in the past. I'll pin them in the future. And again, if you like this video, watch yesterday's video where I talk about how a year ago, all the big tech leaders, all the big CEOs were saying that AI would steal your job. It's going to replace 50% of white collar work. Well, they've completely about-faced on this. So what's changed? Well, we're going to talk about it in yesterday's video. So go check it out. Click the link right here to go check out yesterday's video. And I'll see you there, boys. Peace.